Snowmen rose with icy glares, frosty fists, no time for prayers. They marched on north, the elf blood froze, the peppermint fields now lined with woes.
Jack-o'-lantern lit the spark.
A pumpkin grin, a scheme so dark.
It was the lies of endless snow.
If Christmas ends, you'll never go. Tinsel torn, the stockings burned, the sleigh was smashed, the tide has turned. Oh, Crueltide, Christmas, the end is near. Jingle bells replaced with fear. Santa's chained in a candy cane cell. The holidays have gone.
Wow, 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 wow. That was amazing. That was the first album from Era Broadcasting, their Christmas special. Sounds a lot like the stuff you'd hear on Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel. Same style. Sounds like Alistair. We are joined by Ed from across the ocean to talk about his latest master disaster piece, Era.Cruletide. Hello, Ed. It's been a bit.
Hello. It has been a little while, but didn't forget about you for a moment. Just had a lot going on in my real life, which apparently is something I have to pay attention to. Boring.
Yes, understandable.
So I'm much happier to be here to talk about Era.Cruletide and indeed other things with yourself.
Great, thank you. So it's been a bit of time since the last time we spoke. You were still Ninja Sharks and stuff like that. What have you been up to in 2024 since last we spoke? I think you released a card game.
2025, so at least I know what year it is.
No, I just went through daylight savings, so I have no idea.
Let's see. I've been working on a few things actually. I have recently completed a book about how to voice direct and produce your own audio drama.
Oh.
I have completed my Era Marscape book, and it's being laid out now, which is kind of inspired by Doom. I may have spoken about it with you before, actually, I think.
Dune or Doom?
Doom.
Oh, D-O-M, yeah.
Demons on Mars.
Okay, Demons on Mars, yes.
I did another workshop on creating a tabletop role-playing game in an hour, and I have another candidate, shall we say, a Shark Ninja-esque candidate.
It's going to be tough to
not quite as batshit as Shark Ninja was, but it's quite a lot of fun. It's about a steampunk world where steampunk London is apparently going to war with steampunk Birmingham, but that's almost completely irrelevant to the plot, because the point is that in order to get materials together, they decided to invent strip mining and mine the areas outside of their lands where sort of super intelligent animals live. And the super intelligent animals don't like this, so they are fighting back against the humans, the steampunk humans, who are, destroying their habitat.
There's a Japanese animated cartoon in there somewhere.
Probably. So I've been doing that. I've just finished, or I'm just finishing. By the time we're actually done talking, it'll be done.
Wow.
Pulse of the City, which is an audio short that I worked with a brand new writer on called M. They did a fantastic job of bringing the Era Hitman universe to life through an audio drama. And I produced it with a couple of really awesome voice actors. So we just ran a small Kickstarter for that. That's just coming to an end now. I hate to say, I think that's probably about it. Oh no, Demon Sword. I finished my first comic in the Era Forbidden universe called Demon Sword. I don't think I had that last time we spoke.
No, please don't.
And that's finished, and I'm about halfway through issue 2 with the same artist. That was a lot of fun. That's about this lady here is a forbidden who has a demonic remnant sword. I don't know if you can see that; it's a bit reflective. She's got this demonic remnant, but the remains of the demon are still inside the sword, which is not normal. And so there's a demon presence inside her brain that wants her to die. So, he's a constant naysayer. That was a lot of fun to write. It was sort of like the the goody two shoes side of me, you know, the side that always does the right thing is what Athena's like. And then Krelnoth is the other side of me, which is like, yeah, you're gonna die, and I really hope you die. You deserve it.
So buddy cop. It's a buddy cop.
Kind of, yeah. Except one inside the other one's head.
And then you decided to do a Christmas adventure, which you said was been floating around for about a year. So where does Era.Cruletide come from?
Yeah, so about a year ago, I saw now, that is. I saw a trailer for a movie with The Rock and Chris Evans in called Red One.
Red One, yes.
And I only saw the trailer, right? And I thought, wow, that movie is going to be a complete train wreck.
Yep.
However, the idea behind, you know, this world where all of these mythical creatures, you know, these stories, they're real, is actually a really fun idea, and it makes for an expansive and almost unending world to explore, right? And I thought, right, okay, so I'm gonna go with this. Santa was kidnapped. Cool, I can run with that.
Happens to a lot, it seems. Yeah.
I had no idea what the plot of Red One is now. Was then. I've seen it now, so I know. But you know, I decided that it's a response to Christmas getting earlier every year, and the jack-o'-lanterns are worried that Halloween is going to be taken over by Christmas, and they will cease to exist. So they tell the snowmen, if Christmas, like in the song, if Christmas doesn't come, you'll never melt, right? So, you know, you'll live forever. You know, the winter won't end if Christmas doesn't come. Now, the jack-o'-lanterns know it's a lie, but the snowmen are about as smart as a bag of snow, and therefore don't realize. So they pull out their claws. You can see that rather intimidating-looking one right there, and slaughter all of the elves, or many of the elves in the North Pole, and kidnap Santa. And take him to the jack-o'-lantern's secret hideout. Which, if you go to the very last page of that PDF, you'll see the hideout down there. Little preview copy here. Yeah, no, right at the bottom. Right at the bottom, you had it. Well, yes, there's that image too. That's the snowmen attacking the elves, and then right at the bottom, you'll see there you are. That's the pumpkin's hideout with the head of the headless horseman right there. You can see, and if you scroll down, you'll see a skeleton eating a pumpkin. For some reason, I'm not quite sure why he drew that, but I thought it was funny, so I kept it. And you did notice that the elf on the shelf is part of the evil team.
Yes,
because they're
definitely the shelf is evil.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So, the jack-o'-lanterns have kidnapped Santa. They can't kill him; he's too powerful right before Christmas. But if Christmas doesn't happen, they will be able to kill him because his power will weaken. And then they can make sure that Christmas never happens again.
And what is our job as the players in this?
As the players, you can be literally anything you like. I've been taking crazy requests from the backers of the Kickstarter, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a minute or two. You can be anything you like, literally anything. And you're going to be imbued by Christmas magic by Mrs. Claus and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. They'll give you the Christmas magic that you need in order to rescue Santa from these, from the snowmen, from the headless horsemen, and from the jack-o'-lanterns.
Cool.
The Christmas magic is extremely pun-heavy, and I have no regrets.
Oh, well, it should be, yes. I mean,
oh yes.
So this is more of a goofy take on.
Christmas. This is a very silly game. In fact, if you scroll up a little bit, I don't know how well the character sheet will show. It's literally the next page up. But I once read a Reddit post that said they wanted a game in which the only stats were might, moxie, a sense of wonder, grit, and the cut of your jib. So I took that to heart, as you might be able to see, and I went with might, moxie, luck, because I do love having luck in my games, the sense of wonder, the grit, and the magic for your Christmas magic. And I told my graphic designer, make this as aggressively Christmassy as humanly possible. I think he did pretty well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome job.
Yeah.
Definitely captures the feel.
Keith is a gem.
So about this time of year, a lot of Christmas one-shots come out, and they pretty much always feature something happened to Santa. So how is yours different, and where's the room to go? Because you said it's got infinite possibilities.
Well, and here's the thing, right? So yeah, fine, something happened to Santa. So first of all, you can play as anything. I invented a few characters who I thought were quite fun. There's a PR lady called Holly Day, who is she runs a PR agency for various holidays that need more recognition. She's been doing a lot of work with Chinese New Year recently. That's why it's come into so much more awareness in the Western world, you know. I came up with Abel, the walking cinnamon roll, who is an apologetic alcoholic. And then the Kickstarter backers got hold of the idea that they could make anything. So far we've got Sherlock Stocking, who is trying to solve the mystery of Santa's disappearance. No one quite knows who's behind it in that version that we're on right now in the Kickstarter. At least Rudolph doesn't know. And Sherlock Stocking says it's a 3-pipe problem and is smoking tinsel at quite an alarming rate.
Smoking tinsel, okay.
Yes. And we've got Mariah Carey, who was not thawed out in time for Christmas. She's very angry about it. And she's ready to go. All she wants for Christmas now is revenge.
Ah, okay. So that's how you're...
Or vengeance, in fact. Given I'm shades of vengeance. Right. But she was not thawed out. There's a bit more details coming in an update in a day or two. So make sure you hop on the Kickstarter if you didn't already, listeners, and check out Rudolph's logs. They're a bit of fun. I've just been requested, and I really can't say no to this. John McClane, as in Die Hard.
It is a Christmas movie.
I literally can't say no to that. That is absolutely going to be one of the next stretch goals. We're about to hit our latest 2 stretch goals.
Come out to the North Pole, have a good time, they say.
Yeah, come on. Exactly right. I was muttering that to myself earlier.
Take a break, they said.
And you know, Rudolph having an exchange with him that's like, he's like, what do you want me for? Why am I here? And he's like, you're an expert in rescuing hostages.
Sounds awesome.
So, yeah, John McClane definitely has to happen now. I've had a few other ideas from people. Connor the Bavarian was a highlight. I'm very much looking forward to what other people come up with. And I'll be choosing my favorites of those to bring those out as stretch goals. Having loads of fun so far. Loads of fun.
Sounds fun.
I think I'm going to have to create a new magic spell for Mariah. Otherwise, you know, I won't be able to express her powers properly. So yeah, it's quite a short book. It's not complicated. Rather than using a really, really complicated combat system, I actually use just an opposed roll for combat. So it's very simple to pick up. But the point is, you were asking about one shot. So first of all, you can create any character you like. You can be any character you like. It really does not take itself very seriously, but I'm sure that's not the only game out there that doesn't. I think the point really is that the game doesn't end with Santa's saved, because it exposes a world. And if you think about it, Christmas is one of the most stable, reliable holidays in the calendar, at least in the Western world.
Yes.
Right? So the Tooth Fairy and Cupid decide they're going to do a job swap. And it's completely reasonable that you might be someone who Santa gets and goes, you know what? I need you to go and stop this here. Have some Christmas magic to go and stop this from, you know, this disaster from happening. The Lunar New Year dragon gets really upset because not enough people came to the New Year, the Lunar New Year, and so he goes on a rampage and starts burning people's houses. Oh, quick, says Santa, you need to go and stop this. So I can imagine that Santa being, you know, this elder being, is going to sort of be almost like an enforcement division, or have an enforcement division at least. I refer obliquely in some of the character backstories to the last Krampus War, when Krampus last tried to take over Christmas. And I was thinking about someone else I was talking to suggested that Old Man Winter might be a character they would want to play. And I thought, right, Old Man Winter is going to be Santa's big brother. And Old Man Winter is not, it's a family legacy and Santa took it over. Old Man Winter is not going to be putting on that red costume and sliding down chimneys to give kids presents. That's
he's the older version, right? Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm going to go rescue Santa so I don't have to do that, because I'm not doing that. I am too old for that shit.
Awesome.
So I don't think it ends with Santa being missing.
It
starts with Santa being missing as like the obvious adventure to do, but the game gives you so many opportunities, and that's one of the things that I want to bring as part of the stretch goals as we move forward. I don't want to just stick to just characters. I want to give like a list of adventure seeds. I mean, the Tooth Fairy and Cupid having a job swap is like my favorite idea. Like on Valentine's Day, everyone's having their teeth pulled out. It's sort of like, what? There's just all these holidays going crazy. The Thanksgiving turkey realizes what's happening to his brethren. There was a Simpsons episode about that, wasn't there?
I think so. Yeah.
I think there was. That would be a lot of fun. There's lots of possibilities. The Easter Bunny goes on a rampage.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's so many horror themed, movies.
Exactly. There's sort of no limit to what you can do. So while it's presented as, Santa's missing and that's the story we're giving, I think that the opportunity is there to do a lot with this world, with the grounding that I've put together. I even, if I remember right, I'm just going to double check before I pin my colors to the mast. So there are a lot of characters in there at the back of the book. The Easter Bunny has Christmas powers or Christmas-esque powers. The Lunar Dragon has breath powers, fire breath. And the Headless Horseman can't be killed if his head is still alive. And, you've got kind of all these things. The Jack-o'-lanterns actually each have some spells. I've got Jack-o'-lanterns having felt your presence, which means you can turn invisible, and milking it a bit, which means if you keep attacking them, remind myself. If they're attacked by the same enemy 2 turns in a row, they can force them to target somewhere else. It is hyperlinked. You should be able to click.
Background quirk. Adventure.
Magic spells.
What?
Magic spells. Section 4.
Oh, that's where the monsters are.
Oh, the monsters. Oh, sorry. The monsters are right at the end, just before the character sheet.
Ah, yeah, because you said you were shouting them out. I thought we should show them, but sure.
Oh,
here's the magic. Here's all your Christmas magic.
Yep, that's all your Christmas magic. Bad puns. Having the final sleigh is one of my favorites. When an enemy's on low health, a sleigh appears out of nowhere and squishes them flat. I think that's hilarious. And it sort of reflects the tone of this game, which is at the same time funny and also really, really gory.
Yeah, well, yeah, Christmas.
Right, like you just like overly excessively violent and also stupid. For real, you just make a bunch of fir trees appear around you. Elf taught engineer. With a wave of your hand, as long as it's Christmas themed, you can create anything you like. Tinsel grapple gun. Extending candy cane sword. I'm trying to think. Christmas present box cage that you throw over an enemy and it contains them.
Snowflake throwing stars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instant snowman.
There are loads and loads of options, right? Magical sort of wobbling Santa that goes ho ho ho, and then everyone just who sees it bursts out laughing and can't resist. Can't stop laughing whenever they're looking at it.
Awesome. This all sounds amazing. Yeah. And you've managed to get it out before Christmas.
Well,
With a
not
lot of the
last year,
holiday
and that's why I
one.
waited a year.
Yeah, you waited a year, just sat there on the shelf for the year.
It pretty much did, yeah. I didn't print it, but it's been sat with a get ready in October note on it for an entire year because yeah, I mean I thought I actually ran one as a Christmas session on my Discord server. We had the Snow Queen from Hans Christian Andersen, and we had Rainbow Sparkles, who was an elf from the Last Krampus War, who has PTSD and swears every other word. He was the most foul-mouthed character I've ever played with. He gets the trophy for that. So yeah, I mean, there's loads of fun options here. It's everything you need, and it's a really lightweight game. It's not hard to learn at all. So all in all, I'm very, very happy with how it's come out.
Yes, it looks wonderful. And we are currently at you're currently at 1,132, and your goal was 400.
Yeah, I mean it's 862 pounds, British pounds, and 300 gold. So yeah, it's a little over 1,000 in US dollars. Yeah,
not bad, not bad.
And our next stretch goal is only £38 away, which is about $40. No, well, maybe more like $50. And 4 backers. There are 2 stretch goals, one for backers and one for money amount. And at 900, we get the late defrosted Mariah Carey, who was not thought out on November the 1st.
So that's how you're explaining how she never ages?
Breach of contract. Yes, absolutely. She never ages because she is clearly frozen at the end of Christmas. And then for 50 backers, it's Holiday, the Christmas PR agent that Santa turned down 3 times, but she's been working with other holidays.
Cool. And we got some animated stuff on here. It looks like you're changed your art style up. Is this a new artist or just?
This is a different artist. I wanted to give something a bit different and new a try. I thought it would be a lot of fun to have something that looks a bit more. It was described as looking a bit more like a children's book.
Yes, well, with this nightmare fuel picture right here.
I think my favorite one is the part 5 title page, the snowman sort of standing over the elf. I think that's my favorite. Little further down, little more. It's the next big image.
Yeah.
There we go. That's my favorite one. I think that's brilliant. Blood all over the snowman as they kill the elves, and the elf going, "Ah!"
That's great. Yeah, that's gonna ruin some.
My 4-year-old son, thinks it's hilarious.
Oh, good. Well, then that's important because that's your audience is your kids, right? So now you've done Ninja Sharks and ruined Christmas. What's next for Ed? I mean, you celebrated a couple anniversaries recently, didn't you?
I did. The 8th anniversary Era Survival is well on the way. It's actually with the printer right now. I'm just waiting for them to get printed, and then they'll be over with me. I believe the digitals are out already with everyone. Obviously, Era Marscape to do. I've got a couple of other audio dramas that I've been working on as well. One is another one in this Era Forbidden Universe, as well as the second Demon Sword comic. I've got, let me think. I am still working on Era Soul Mist, but I decided to sort of put Era.Cruletide on the front burner because Era Soul Mist hadn't quite finished yet. And I'm working on a solo game for Era the Empowered, my superhero offering.
That's the one I have.
The idea being that in between your group sessions, you can go away, like Batman with the Justice League. He then goes away and does his Gotham thing, grows his character, grows his rogues gallery and all the rest of it, grows his experience. And I think that's something I don't see very often for tabletop role-playing games in the superhero space. So I thought it would be a really fun idea to make a solo game, sort of like a journaling game, where you can go, you can have a bunch of criteria that go, hey, this happens, that happens, this happens, and you write how your character gets out of it, which won't give you like level ups and stuff in the game, but it'll give you more of your backstory across the game.
Were we going to see an ad live play of doing the solo?
Maybe. I would actually strongly consider it. It shouldn't be too hard to get a group together, at least.
Cool.
And I've already proven. I was talking about Crueltide yesterday with a nice guy called John. I made a Crueltide character on the spot, based off a prompt. So I've proved I'm okay at improv. So maybe I will do a one-man play, actual play of the Era the Empowered game.
Yeah, there's just so much to play with in the holiday grab bag.
Oh yes, yeah. I remember also we ran an Empowered that was a holiday Empowered last year, a Christmas Empowered. We faced the Krampus actually. He had a power to make people on the naughty list, and that would absolutely tank their stats turn by turn. And so only the good people were able to fight him. Only the people on the nice list.
Well, that could be one of the stretch goals, is you printing that out for
yeah
Crueltide. And since I know you never sleep, what does Ed have planned for the rest of 2025, 2026?
Well, like I say, I want to get my second issue of Demon Sword done. I've recently finished. I believe I have a copy over here. Yep, I do. I've recently finished Cascade number 2, which is the second of 3 superhero comics.
Awesome.
In a series. So Cascade number 3 is just finishing off colors. It's supposed to be any day now. Mm-hmm. So that. What else have I got here? What am I doing? I did a Blue Shift thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to focus on the Empowered solo game, getting Crueltide out, getting Survival 8th Anniversary out, getting 2 comics finished, Demon Sword number 2 and Cascade number 3. And I think I'm probably going to get Era Marscape ready for an early next year launch. Oh, and I do have New Year, New Stories 2026, which is an anthology of stories. It includes one of mine, but many, many others as well. We've got 14 stories in it at the moment. And it's going to be about... sorry, I'm just frantically looking for the the cover of it, because the cover is...
I put it on the spot.
It's basically any story that is a new story for this year is permitted to join this anthology. A new comic for this year is permitted to join this anthology. Maybe I can share my screen when this opens. There we go. This is the current... Oh, that's the old one. 1 second. Let me get the newer one so you can have the absolute most up to date. Where is it? Download that. And it's that.
Yay! We broke the internet.
No. It's fine. I'm just here we go. Share screen. Share screen. That's how you have to click share screen 15 times for it to share anything.
Yes.
So here is the cover of New Year, New Stories 2026. It's a wild ride. No, hang on, that's the inside cover. That's not even the outside cover. Let me find the inside cover. So that's going to be the inside cover, and the outer cover. Oh, I just didn't scroll quite far enough.
Okay.
The outer cover. You will recognize.
Is that Frodo and Sam as rap stars there in the lower corner?
It is rap stars. There is a choose your own adventure comic in this, which is new to me. I've never seen anything like that before. But it's brilliant fun. Now I've ruined it.
That's okay. So I guess
let me share the right one. There we are. I'll get there eventually. There we go. That one. So yeah, you'll recognize Athena from Demon Sword there, because I'm putting some pages from Demon Sword in to get some people interested. But that's what it's all about. It's a showcase of various artists' work. Some of them have worked with me before on New Year New Stories, such as in the top left, lovely lady doing a comic called The Electrifying Lightning Man, and Moondog in the top middle there. And then there are some new ones like Arachne, who's that lady singing, and the Choose Your Own Adventure comic. So yes, it's really exciting to have, these 14 stories that maybe you missed them. Maybe you didn't go to the right convention, and maybe, you weren't in the right place at the right time. That's fine. That's what New Year, New Stories is all about, is to expose you to the things that maybe you did miss.
That's cool. Sharing people's creativity across the spectrum, so to speak.
Yeah.
So you spiraled off there like 27,000 different things. Plus you still got your 9 to 5, your family, everything you do when we don't see you. I think there's a lot of people out there who would love to, and I know you give classes on this. How does that work? How do you manage your time and your creative process? You've done like 14 things. I think I finished 4 things this year.
So a lot of it is about being very cognizant of what you need to do and when you should do it. I'm far from perfect, but I do have quite a lot of experience in time management, being a project manager. So I make sure that I know who is supposed to be delivering what to me when. I make sure that I'm on top of my writing and when someone's expecting it. And I work a lot of hours. I worked out, I was just doing a complete overhaul of my to-do list the other day and pushing some stuff back to next year, which I'm not going to get done this year. I'm still overly ambitious, even beyond what I can achieve. But what's happened is I've not just done this all in one go. It's built up over a period of years where I've sort of done more and more gradually. Don't try and do 14 projects all at once. Start with one, get one right, then do a second. And then maybe if an opportunity comes along, do another one while you're doing your second, as long as it's not going to get in the way. When I'm doing something like a comic, there's some writing to do, but once the writing's done, it's over to the artist and then just, I'm sorry, you misunderstood what I meant there. What I meant was this. And it's not that much work. It might be an hour a week, maybe. I work when I'm commuting to work. I travel on the London Underground. I'm very lucky to have good public transport here. But I work when I'm there. I go over, in particular at the moment, I'm going over someone who is writing a few sessions for some games that I'm not feeling inspired to write sessions for. So, she's volunteered to do that. I'm just going over and going, oh, hey, I think maybe you missed a trick here, or you could do this or whatever. So I use my time when it would be dead downtime when I'm not doing anything. And I focus my downtime to be with my son or my wife or maybe playing computer games if I feel like that. And I try not to waste my downtime by sitting and I don't have a Netflix subscription, right? I have a TikTok account that I have not logged into in a year. I don't really use social media ever. I think those 3 things are actually the significant difference between me and most people. I don't waste my time on anything else. If I'm going to go and, watch something, it's very planned. okay, I'm going to go and watch an episode of. My son is getting in Star Trek: The Next Generation, which I love.
Good for him.
So I'll go and I'll plan 45-minute break to go and watch Star Trek: The Next Generation episode with my son and my wife, and then I'll go back to work again. You know, I won't sit there and just binge 10 episodes. It'll be no, we're watching one episode. That's fine. That's plenty. 4-year-olds, you don't want to have too much screen time anyway, right?
Yeah.
And then I go back to work. You know, it's sort of like that, and it's about reasonable management of the time that I have, and not wasting the time when I could be sitting and staring out the window. Now, that does come with some downsides. I'm not going to claim this is all sunshine and roses. Burnout is something that you know you have to be really aware of if you're following this kind of procedure. It can be really, really tiring, and I make sure that every so often I schedule a weekend off, right? I just have a free weekend where I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah. Computer free
and
weekend.
I'm just saying, hey, sorry, you aren't going to reach me this weekend, to the people who might normally expect to reach out and get a very swift answer.
That's
when I've got my head down, you know, I'm not going to answer an email immediately every time. Again, I'm a project manager, and this is going to show my service level agreement, my SLA for people is 24 hours. I will usually get back to you within 24 hours when I do a thing. Yeah, I exercise my willpower, right? I work very hard. and it's not always easy by any means. It can be really, really challenging to go, no, I'm not going to do this project I really want to do. It's not the thing that's right in front of me or the thing that's best. I might feel a bit inspired about it, so I might spend half an hour writing down notes. But as time goes on, I spend half an hour and then I'm done. Like I'm not able to keep going. I've got these other things that are on the list that people are waiting for, that people are expecting, and I can't let people down by allowing things to slip. So I'm far from perfect, far from it. I do work hard. I do sleep. Sleep is actually incredibly important, especially if you're going to really work hard. I sleep at least 7 hours a night, or at least I'm in bed for at least 7 hours a night. I usually do sleep most of that time. I exhaust myself, so I fall asleep quite quickly. But it's all about thinking what you want to do, what success looks like, and planning a route to get there before you begin the thing you're trying to do, so that you're not trying to overcommit. Era.Cruletide, as I've pointed out during this conversation, could be a 500-page book with all of the details of everything that you could possibly do. That's not what I wanted to make. I wanted to make something that, yes, well, I mean, being in bed for 7 hours, whether you want to or not, I guess.
I'm in bed. I'm not asleep, but I'm in bed.
Sorry?
I said, yeah, I'm in bed. I'm not asleep, but during that, you know, my sleep time.
When you utterly exhaust yourself during the day, falling asleep gets easier.
Good to know.
So all you have to do is work like 3 full-time jobs and then sleep the rest of the time. You'll be fine.
Okay, there you go, guys. Now, following up on that, one thing I really like about your many products is your Kickstarters are always reasonable, you know, 600, 500, 400. And you're seeing so many people now who are like, you know, my 20-page book I'm kickstarting for $9,000, you know, and then that's, I think, you know, because I think so many people have just gotten blasé about the fact that so-and-so made $1 million Kickstarter, so-and-so made $1 million Kickstarter, that now $1 million Kickstarter doesn't really feel like anything, you know. So many people are just setting the bar that much higher because so many have hit
$1 million. I
$1
find that
million.
really disturbing, to be honest. You know, it's almost like saying, so I've got 46 backers on Era.Cruletide right now.
Yes.
It's almost like saying, well, unless it's 500, 46 doesn't matter. No, hang on a minute. Those
Everyone
46
matters.
people have decided to support my game.
Yes.
Right? They've decided to help bring it to life. It doesn't matter if it's 46 or 4,600. Every single one of those has put their money forward and said, yes, I trust you, Ed. This sounds like a fun idea. I would like to put my money behind it. I want this game to come to reality. Every single one of those matters. And it doesn't matter if it's a £1 Kickstarter or a £1 million Kickstarter, dollar, whatever. It doesn't matter. Every single backer who has given you any money whatsoever deserves to have the thing that they made. This is actually my 66th Kickstarter.
66.
Well, I mean, on this account. So that's not including the comics and the audio. I'm well over 100.
Yeah, do you get like a prize from Kickstarter? You know, over 100.
No,
send you a cake or something.
No, they don't accept that the other two accounts are me. Which is probably fortunate for me because they don't let you run more than one Kickstarter at a time. And sometimes I like to run more than one Kickstarter at a time.
That's important, yeah. And I think it's just an important lesson you just gave to a lot of people out there, along with the productivity, is that, you know, everyone counts.
Every backer.
And
every backer
don't have money, so you know.
Yeah, like especially if you think about it, right?
I look at so many of these Kickstarters, like I want to support, and I'm like, I don't have that kind of money for a PDF, dude.
If you look at you know, the current situation as a creator, and you go, well, would you browse through Kickstarter and spend $50 on a 20-page PDF?
Absolutely
no,
not.
You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't. As a creator, if it was a random person. So why are they going to do that for you? Like, do you really think that you are that special?
Well, unfortunately, a lot of people
carry that much weight.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I hope that you're someone who is independently famous, if that's what you're asking for, right? Whereas I'm going, no, you know what? It's. I think it would come to about $12 for the digital for the whole game.
Yeah,
and about 17, 18 for the physical version.
Yeah, I'm the same. You know, I'm like, what would I want to pay for this? $10, okay, you know, $10 seems reasonable.
The book's going to look a lot like this. It's not enormous, you know. It's going to look something like this. It's going to be about like this size,
which is fine.
It's got absolutely everything you need to play in it. That's the important thing. Apart from dice, you might need some dice. But otherwise, it's got everything you need to play. It's got loads of magic spells. It's got loads of, you know, and it's been carefully play tested and balanced. And yes, that's worth time. And if you value your time so highly, I tried to ask for $5 for a PDF version of my game guide. Only like 3 takers, even though I spent hundreds of hours on writing and drawing my own artwork. So I left it at pay what you want. Now, I had a very similar experience my first time out. Right, it took me a very, very long time to build up to where I am now. Like I said, I've run 100 Kickstarters. Right, my audio Kickstarter that I've just run, it's just a tiny little audio short called Pulse of the City. It's got 11 backers. That's it. That's all I've got. Not every project is an outstanding success. No, you know, I've got 46 backers and over $1,000 on Era.Cruletide, but not every project is an outstanding success. And that's okay too, right? What do
we do when a project fails? Because that's, I think, another thing people don't, you know, how to deal with.
2 choices when a project fails. I actually really love what Sword and Stones has said there, because that's exactly the right attitude, right? He put it out there as pay what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it can be heartbreaking to spend hundreds of hours on something and then, you know, like only 3 people take it. Put it out into the world. Make it pay what you want if that's what's comfortable. Make it $3 and accept that you're not going to make lots and lots of money.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Whatever works for you. But bear in mind, fine, you only got 3 takers, and I'm really sorry to hear that, my friend. However, you got 3 takers.
Yes,
3
exactly.
people went and looked for that. And again, you're back to that £1 million Kickstarter thing, right? You know, if it's not 2,000 people who want it, then it's worthless. No, hang on. I appreciate it. I appreciate you spent a lot of time in it. I appreciate it might feel like a kick in the teeth. I understand. Don't forget, it takes 20 years to be an overnight success, you know, first. But secondly, or is it 15? I forget what the saying is. But it takes decades to be an overnight success. And then secondly, you changed 3 people's outlook, right? They had a go, they read it, they were happy to give you $5 for it. That's 3 people. So what that says to me is people like the idea of it. You haven't got 0, you haven't got absolutely nobody wants this and nobody's even going to take it seriously. You've got 3. So that says to me, you don't understand marketing, and to be completely clear, I don't understand marketing either. So do you want to go and learn about marketing more? That's what I've done. I've gone and learned more about it. I'm far from great at it. I've gone and learned about it, right? I've learned some things, and some things I do work, and a lot of things I do don't seem to work very well at all. You're out there, you look at some RPG companies who, like you say, £1 million Kickstarters, and I'm sat here on £1,000 going, yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with this. I'd like this to hit 2,000 if it possibly can. That would be really good. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. 1,000 is enough. It'll let me transfer that money forwards to my next game, and I can keep bringing out stuff. Because if you spent hundreds of hours and you took the risk, my friend, Sword and Stones, you didn't do that for the money, right? You did that because you wanted to create something. Good on you.
Yeah,
that's the only reason to create something.
Yes.
And like, if you're doing it for the money, you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. It's my opinion. So you did a labor of love, and maybe that's the only one you ever want to do, and that's fine as well, right? You should do as much or as little as you want to do. There's no right or wrong way to approach creativity.
Yes. I think more people need to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, they say everyone's got one novel in them, right? So I'm 5 novels in, and I'm not sure I've hit my 1 novel yet. I've made 17 role-playing games. None of them are famous, not in any significant way. I'm not making them to try and be famous. I'm making them because I love it. I love making games. I love going and, I don't know, I recently released an Era Zone issue. That's my little zine where I do prototype games. Like, they're unfinished, untested. It's just like, I had this idea and I'm going to do this. I did one at a backer's request, which was Pokemon. I made a Pokemon role-playing game, basically, where it's called Era Apex, and because I'm hilarious, the little creatures are called Pecs. So when you fight, you bring out Apex to fight someone else. Because I'm hilarious. I am underappreciated for my puns. I will say that.
Oh, okay. I appreciate your puns. We appreciate
but I
you.
Just did it. I did that because it sounded like a fun thing to do, right? I did Era.Cruletide because I watched the Red 1 trailer and thought, oh, that movie's going to be a train wreck, but I can do something with this. I made Era Forbidden that ended up being a large game book and multiple comics and audio dramas and so on, because I played Darksiders 3 when it came out, but I actually played the remastered versions of 1 and 2, which were really good games, really enjoyed them. Played Darksiders 3. Watched the Hellboy movies, because actually the newer Hellboy movie also came out at almost exactly the same time. So I watched the Ron Perlman ones and then went and watched the David Harbour one in the cinema. And I went, you know what? I've kind of been immersing myself in this. I think I can do something with this. Let's do something. And I sat down with my wife, who had gone through the Hellboy movies with me, and we made something up. I made Era Kaiju because I was at a movie night and someone said, you couldn't make this into an RPG.
He did.
So Era Kaiju happened. I made Era Shark Ninja because it sounded like fun, right? It was a giggle. And to me, that's why I make games, right? I don't make them to try and make money. I don't make them to be famous or anything like that. I make games because it's really fun to do that and then be able to run that game and, publishing it. And even 50 people liking that game is absolutely brilliant for me. Honestly, 3 people liking that game is still brilliant, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've got I've got the Unloved Stepchild, Era the Chosen. One GM I know loves running this game. Nobody else loves running this game. Everyone avoids it like the plague. One GM I know loves running this game. I quite like running it, on occasion. It's nice. But one GM absolutely adores running it. So he runs it all the time.
And hey, he's got people showing up to play.
He's the only person I know who runs it, apart from me. And you know what? Fine, cool. That's the way that book went. It's a 300-page rulebook. I spent hundreds of hours on it, like yourself, and I think I've made, I don't know, maybe 50 sales of it. But bear in mind, it's like my 8th big RPG. So, I already had an established audience that were going to give me a chance. So yeah, don't give up. That would be my suggestion. Don't look at it as bad just because only 3 people took it. Do it for the love.
Do it for the love of the game.
Enjoy the success that you have experienced, because it's not nothing. And in a world of, if you have under this number of backers, under this number of followers on Instagram or whatever, you're a failure. I think it's important to remember that if you reach 3 people, that probably just means that you aren't pitching it in a way people hear. That's not actually meaning that your game is bad, because if 3 people will give it a go and say they like it, more people will like it. They just didn't hear about it.
Awesome. Anybody have any questions before we let Ed get back to his life? Because it's like 8 o'clock where Ed is.
9. 9. Yeah.
Conventions, right? You go and visit conventions and give your talks and run your games. And how do you now, after what happened at TwitchCon and how the convention circuit seems to be getting very negative, how do you feel about that now?
It's awful what happened at TwitchCon. It's not okay, right? Okay.
Do you feel safe going to cons now?
Me, yeah, I'm far too ugly for anyone to give a shit. Excuse my language. Yeah, I mean, I feel I've never felt unsafe being at cons. I'm not important or interesting enough. Nor do I have any desire to be. To be fair, I have no interest in being famous. I do want to help people create, but that's as far as my limit goes. So I've never felt unsafe at a convention. I will say that. I think that society in general is just becoming more and more accepting of bad behavior. In many different areas, and if you heard me say that and something popped into your head, that is probably because of something that you feel and think. And I don't want to get too deep into politics.
Yeah, we know. We're talking about games.
Politics things that people might say or whatever. But I think society in general is getting a bit too accepting of bad behavior. I think it's a bit led by social media, because it seems like social media rewards bad behavior.
Yeah, definitely.
Have a good one, Sword and Stones. I think social media rewards bad behavior, and I think that's a bad thing.
Yes.
And I think TwitchCon is likely the kind of focus place where you're going to see bad behavior in particular, because of the audience who are going to go and because of the amount of consumption of social media, in which I count Twitch. So, you're consuming a lot of bad behavior, and therefore it becomes the new norm.
Great.
I am horrified by the behavior that happened there. It's clearly wrong. And I am worried. I am worried about the future, not for myself, but for anyone, really. People are very entitled to what they think they deserve. And a lot of it, again, seems to come from social media. So I am worried about reinforcing echo chambers and personal bubbles where everyone just agrees with other people and you don't have to accept any criticism of what's going on with your work. It's one of the reasons that I embrace reviews that go, no, I don't like this thing. Maybe I like it in general. I don't like this thing. Maybe I don't like it in general. I embrace that. If that's the way you feel about it, that's fine. I have to be able to take that. That's part of being an adult,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
My game, if you look at my games and you go, Ed, you know what? They're not for me. Thanks. I'm not really interested, or I don't understand it, or you know whatever your thing is. Fine, cool. You go live your life. I'll live my life, and we're all good, right? I don't need to knock your lights out for doing that, right? For saying that and feeling that. It doesn't matter. And I think that that attitude is getting less and less true because, you know, people see, oh, this guy knocked out this other guy on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. Oh, it was so cool. I wish I could do that. You know, and it's like, no, you don't. That's just, that's unacceptable behavior. You shouldn't be behaving like that. No one should. And you shouldn't be giving likes and clicks and views and money to people for behaving like this.
Awesome.
So I am a bit worried. I am a bit worried about the direction we're going. But while we continue to have a self-reinforcing bubble, I don't see any way that that's going to change. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to think about it myself. I'm going to think about how I want to behave. And if anyone cares to ask my opinion, as you just have, I'll give you my opinion. But at the same time, my those same morals that I just gave mean that I can't make you behave the way I think that you should behave.
No.
I wouldn't want to, right? But I wish people would be a bit more. I wish people would be a bit more understanding to other people, because everybody has feelings and thoughts and a position that comes from something, even if it's something that I disagree with.
Well, now that this has gone on a dark turn, let's end it on a bright spot. 6 months in the future, Ed's at a convention. Somebody walks up to you and tells you the scenario they won for Crueltide, and you just drop. It's so good. What would be the perfect dream scenario that somebody would tell you for Crueltide that would just make you go, yeah, that's it, I'm done? you just won the game. You made it awesome.
Wow.
I like that Ed asked what the weird questions, you know.
Something I hadn't thought of. That's what it comes down to. The reason I loved the Mariah Carey Frozen idea is I'd never thought of it, right? I could have thought of John McClane, but I didn't, right? Those are my two favorite ideas so far, purely on the basis that I never would have thought of that, right? It's so obvious and it's so fun and it so fits what I'm trying to do, but I never would have thought of it because that's not the way my brain is going. And I just go, that is brilliant. And it would be something like Cupid and Tooth Fairy do a job switch, right? I mean, that would be a good example of something where, yes, I thought of it, but if I hadn't done and someone had come up and said that to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's brilliant. That's fantastic. I love it. And you know, I want people to take this game, and indeed all of my games, and run with it and do their own thing, and then come back to me and go, I tried this and it was awesome, or I tried this and you know what, it didn't actually work that well, but my new idea is that. That would be the apex for me. That would be the perfect situation. I can't use the word apex anymore now. I've made a game called Era Apex.
You can still use it. Konami lost their case, so they can't copyright anything having to do with Pokemon. So, or even vaguely Pokemon.
So yeah, I think that I would really like someone to come up to me and go, you know what, I did this with it. I once had someone tell me that they took Era Survival and Era the Consortium, and they used the karma system from Era Survival in Era the Consortium to run a Mass Effect campaign. And I was like, brilliant, fantastic, that's great. I love it. I love that. I love Mass Effect. It was absolutely an influence on Era the Consortium. I am honored that you chose to use Era the Consortium and Era Survival for that.
Awesome. So there you go. That is Ed from Shades of Vengeance, maker of comic books, audio, role-playing game, and general nonsense. The game in question we've been talking about is Crueltide, a holiday-themed, Christmas-themed adventure starter. Do whatever you want, be whatever you want. Take the holidays and shake them and see what kind of nonsense comes out.
See what falls out. Yeah,
that's important that we have more games like that. And of course, Ninja Sharks. So till next time, if you want to reach out to Ed, their links are down below in the description. Thank you, anybody who took time out of your day to visit us here in the mythical town of Fresno, Nevada. Steve the Cat and Ed and I say happy holidays, stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you later. Here's that
have
song.
a lovely one.
The turkeys gobble, join the fray.
We're tired of being the feast buffet.
Easter bunny hopped in line.
No eggs to hide if there's no time.